You know, we don't need expensive stuff or the latest and greatest gear to be able to get out and enjoy ourselves. Sometimes simplicity and ingenuity is the key. And that's why we're going to have a chat with Laurie today in this 2009 Nissan X-trail T31. G'day Laurie, how are you?
How you going? Very good.
Good. So let's get straight into it. Tell us about your vehicle.
Very good. It's a 2009. I purchased it in 2012. It's the 31 diesel turbo 2 litre running a 6-speed auto. I bought it at 28,000 kilometres and I've just done 160,000 services, and we've been talking to each other for a month or so.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you can come and have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm glad you could spend time with me today and show us your vehicle. So let's open up the bonnet and we'll run through the modifications. It's not a lot, but we'll have a look at them. All right, let's move on under the bonnet. What have you got?
Okay, first thing that was done when I bought the car, I had the electrics transferred over
From your old vehicle,
from
yeah?
the old vehicle.
Yep.
So I've had the isolator and the wiring harness, which I just unsnaked out of one and snaked the back in the other. Had the electrician said, here, I want this coupled up here, here and here, which we did. This was a later extension, which we can talk about when we hit the other end. And when the 150,000 service was done after being up the Cape and bouncing around over everything, I had a little bit of oil splashed back onto the air breather, and the mechanic said, well, it might help if we just throw a catch can on. It'd help eliminate a little bit of blow-by that might have been going through. And so we are.
Catch can.
Catch can we have down in here. The drain hose goes down there. All the oil's actually down in the lines.
And you've made use of your
And just a bit of space. I had a little pump. I had another one, but it hides down with the spare tyre, which is it's a little bit bigger than this one, but not much.
Some rags on the other side.
Did a little bit of maintenance rags when I do the dipstick. I got rags there.
Check the oil and you can easily grab a rag,
Rag's always handy.
Yeah.
This is just purely a buffer because it just comes across on that knuckle on the air conditioner there, and I don't want a sharp edge to be rubbing, so I just
to cushion it.
Yeah, it's just a bit of cushioning on it. That's purely it.
Stock standard
pattern. Stock standard.
Yeah.
Nothing other than I replaced the turbo hose. The original one was getting very puffy. You could see it swelling out. They still swell out, but the new one from Nissan, they have wire wrapped around them.
Okay.
Just to reinforce it.
Hold it in. Yep. All right, so let's move on to this one first. What have you got there?
What have we got? Just I used to have little driving lights, 60 watters. They weren't all that. They work, but they're not all that well because everybody now has moved over to. But underneath, I've gone into a bash plate.
Yep.
Purely because they had about 14 odd pins, plastic pins in them. Every time you'd done a service, you'd undo the pins, put them back in, and eventually I had done a service on the Friday, and by Tuesday I noticed that I didn't have a sun plate anymore. Got under with a bit of cardboard, measured it, said yes, these will work. In the existing holes where the clips went, I put in riv nuts.
Yeah.
Just fitted those in. I measured up where I wanted, went down to the local aluminium shop with a drawing and said I want this made, turn 30 degrees, cut off at these points, and came back with a bit of templated cardboard, put it on the top and put the holes in. I've got 4 longer bolts and 4 shorter bolts.
Yeah, cool. So this is, as Laurie said, custom built, made it himself, so he's happy to share the drawings with us and measurements. I'll create a separate video purely for T31 custom-made bash plate. All right, let's jump onto your tyres. What have you got?
Tyres. At the moment I've just gone on to Dunlop Grandtek AT5s, only a new one out.
Yeah.
So I've tried those. I used to run Kumos all the time, and this one is, I've had a good deal made on these.
Yeah. When did you purchase it?
When
this one?
month ago, 2
month
months
ago.
ago.
So it's pretty much brand new.
Yeah, brand new tyres.
215 60/17 stock
Stock
size.
size.
Yeah. Okay.
I looked at going to an upper size,
Yeah.
which would change my RPMs on around 60 RPMs and the diesel, but a lot of my work is towing my caravan,
Yeah.
and I preferred to stay more in the rev range of torque
Yeah.
than I needed for the clearance for the most time.
Yeah.
Because we're only picking up a half an inch of real ground clearance.
Correct. That's correct.
So-
Yeah. And you had the springs and struts replaced.
I have.
We couldn't see from the receipt what it was, unfortunately,
No,
but it
I
is.
had heavy duty raised struts and springs.
Yeah.
I don't know the brand.
Yeah.
It gave a lift of about 35 millimetres, 40 millimetres.
All right. So let's have a look at the roof. What have you got?
On the roof, I've got King's awning. It's a 2 metre by 2.5. I have made one modification, which I'll show you later. A basket on the roof, rhino racks. I've fabricated a frame to carry a flexible solar panel, which we'll cover in a later. And it's made just about a finger depth off the glass. We'll pop a look at that one. But also I hide up here a picnic table.
Yeah.
Standard
Table.
2 foot by 6 foot folding table.
So you've fabricated a
And I've made
slider for it.
an aluminium slider.
Yeah.
It slides in, drops down between the legs. What I got up here is just a standard 120 solar panel. It's one of the flexible ones.
Yeah.
I put it on plyboard. I've got left enough space down here that I can get straps down to hook up. As you see, I don't hit the glass.
Yeah.
I've moved the crate forward to accommodate that. What I'm keen on, that I could utilise a bread basket with a little bit of trimming done at the top of this edge, and I've just shaved the back on the flat. In here I carry either little chairs that I have. If I want to have chairs, I put the gas bottle on it if I've got the barbecue. If I've got the bigger barbecue, I have the little gas bottle parked on here. I've got a safety chain on that, so when the leads go around through it, I clip it in. Or I can have some timber blocks, which we'll show you, that I use when I meet deep gutters, particularly with the caravan. Some gutters you get very deep, and I might put one or two to make a chock or a ramp or a jump over. Or in town and they've got a big camper, I just drop them down, drive up on top of it, level the van up.
Cool.
And it just fits in on the other side. To stop them moving backwards and forward, there's a centre pin. So they run into the centre pin from either side.
Okay, so the solar panel wiring just goes down, feeds where?
It drops down, runs along, clips, pushes in underneath this rail.
Yeah.
I come to here, I pop the light off, or the panel off. It goes around and down through a grommet, comes around, follows along underneath the awning. They have a place that pops out here onto the board.
Yeah.
I've made a CTEK
DC.
DC,
that one, yeah?
DC to DC 25 amp. This one is the newer version. So when this auxiliary battery is full, it actually pulses back to the main battery.
Right. So what sort of battery have you got here?
This one's 110 AGM deep core.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard core by brand.
Yeah.
One line coming from the AGM battery, the other one coming from the car system from the front. That was off the solenoid
Yeah.
that we had up front.
Yeah.
When I put this system in, and this one back bleeds to the main,
Yeah.
I put an isolator in, and that was the other couplings that are in front of the isolator.
Yeah.
What I've done is made a bypass, so it just goes straight around, straight onto the mains. That does two things. if I need power through an Anderson, I can open it up and it gives me access to this battery and the driving battery on 2 Andersons at the front of the car.
Right.
Anderson mains, alto, and double adapted on the fridge comes into play. Runs there. I also have a battery charger.
Yeah, just a normal mains battery charger.
Normal mains as well. It plugs in the system as well. And the fridge also has the 240 mains.
Yeah.
Comes onto a circuit board.
Right.
If I'm somewhere where I can get onto mains power.
Yeah. Caravan parks and stuff.
And that.
Yep.
I tag it off the band.
Yeah.
I hang it out here.
So let's talk about the whole setup at the back. For those of you who don't know, the T31's got the built-in dual trays. Well, one
You can buy 2 drawers.
You can buy the second one. Yep.
Yep.
What have you got under here?
And in this one I've got everything in a kitchen sink.
Yep.
Water, tea bags, tape measures, tapes, tie down straps, tie down straps, tie down straps.
Yeah.
Because this is the 2-piece floor, and I can't get at it because you just got to manipulate a little bit and go over the top of the locks and come all the way out. Hammer, some wine glasses, they're often. Zip ties, magic stuff to carry around with you. Basic tools, spanners. I also have other tools down in the well for tyre plugs, compressor, small pliers, shifters and things like that are wanted.
Yep.
These are the belts I was talking about that I use with my annex.
Oh yes.
Yep. I'll show those later.
Yep.
While I'm here, this is the people say, how do you check your tyre? Well, down under here, down between these two, there's a space, and there's a solid board on the top of mine to keep the plastic from bowing down. It makes a rigid floor. But I have this cable comes out. Well, it's not a cable; it's a compressor line screwed onto the terminal on the valve. Check the pressure, adjust your pressure. Then it just slides back down through the hole, and the little aluminium just sits in the cavity between the two solids.
I really love that idea. Like, look, check that out, guys. So you don't have to check your tire pressures on your spare tire. Rig it up like this, permanently rig it up, and you can just pull it out, put air, release air, whatever you want to do. Stays there.
Normal travelling around, I got 2 little lines. I'm not a big fisherman by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very simple to just keep the lines. I've got a figure 8, bungee cord, hockey strap type stuff. I put the handles over the rail here. I put the hockey strap around the nose, over this rail, so it pulls up that one, go down, under the rail, around the handles. It stops them from bouncing around.
Yep.
This is my fishing kit.
Yeah.
I just put it out today because we're talking about what we can do.
Yeah.
This varies. What I put in varies on where and what I think I'm going to do.
And how long you're going to be away for, and
So I've got a fishing carrier there out of the road.
But sorry, this was your sort of couple of days getaway setup. Couple of days.
For standing, the battery, that is not on there. From here down is a day drive every day.
Yeah.
So everything I have in here is virtually on a day drive.
Yeah.
So I'll take it out a bit at a time and I'll get down to a final day drive status, and then we can talk down what I'm carrying in day drive. I like to carry a basket if I'm travelling for potatoes and onions and carrots and things like that. Now and to breathe where I can. Dustpan brush, very good to carry. I have a bit of Hessian bags. Yeah. They're good.
Yeah, good for carrying fresh produce.
Fresh produce, roll the potatoes out up in it.
Yeah.
If I happen to go fishing, they're very good to have around the fish. Rye-op scales and things like that. You can wash them up, easy to look up. A basket. Doesn't have to be this one, you get any size.
Any size, yeah.
These are good.
Collapsible buckets.
Yep. Beauties.
Space saving.
Space saving. The box is empty, but normally it'd have milk or like anything you really wanted into it. It would change in whether I had really wanted to carry something frozen, then this would have to become a fridge, which would mean ice, or I just normally have the fridge down at 1 degree and I'd carry consumables in this one.
Yeah, because you got a fridge freezer in the back seat. We'll get to it later.
Yep.
And that one, yep. Icebox.
I just hockey straps down over all of the lines.
That's a good thing about having a
Crash rack.
yeah, because you can attach stuff to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just tie things off to it and bring it down.
Cooker.
Two burner Barbie.
Yep.
Can have an adapter goes onto any of 4.5 kilo bottles, or the little 1.5 to 1 1/4 pound
Tiny ones, yeah.
pounder bottle. Primus. This is the daily pots and pans on camping.
Yeah. So that's your kind of kitchen.
This is the
Kitchen stuff.
little cutting board, fry pans, cups, knives, forks, toasters, plates, the old enamel plates,
Yeah.
saucepan, knives, forks, salt and pepper. I'll bring it down a little bit now further.
Yeah.
In this one, we were away Christmas time and we took away baked beans, gluten-free food,
Pasta. Yeah.
pasta, Vegemite or things. These are something if you need. Oh, I've got that in the shed. Pop it in the car. These I find are a must because when we buy meat, sausages, bacon, something like that, anything that can bleed, it's in its own container. It's in here and we can fill it with ice with those come out and they go into that other box.
That's a good idea, the ice box, even for not putting ice in, but just to insulate, you know, things like canned food and stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you got it exposed to the heat, then, you know.
This is a must-have, particularly when you've got camp area
Yeah.
and you're using awning tents.
Yes.
You get out
I agree.
in and out of the beach, in and out of the beach.
You got one of those, yeah.
You've got to brush it out. When you're packing it up, you can sweep it out to one corner, at least get it out of the tent.
Yeah.
So I carry one of those. This is just basically a bug box that I carry. Leads. As I said, if I get somewhere where I can get the power. You never know, you could be camping with somebody who's running a generator.
Yeah.
Okay, he's over there. Then I run the power off you for 10 minutes.
That's a good idea.
Some water spare. Some detergent for washing up. Body soap if you're out in the bush. Another soap. Rubbish bags, a necessity.
Yeah.
Coming to where you tell, please take your rubbish home with you.
Absolutely.
Mortine, doesn't kill mice. In the back, this is almost down to day-to-day work. There's a shower thing,
Solar shower.
solar shower. Because it fits behind the battery, it just stays there, doesn't take up any weight. As you pointed out, I also have fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher, yeah.
Mounted in this model of car, because there is a crash rack, we require to have a window breaker on this side of the rack.
Right.
That's a part of the fabrication of the rack.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Over on this side, hiding down here, there is more toilet paper,
Yeah.
some gas canisters,
Yeah.
right? We carry a bit of extra water there. I got water under there.
It's a good idea to have water in different containers everywhere, eh?
Oh yeah.
So that way if you leak one or two, you've got more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got standing. There's 5 in the car. There's a big one here which I make cups of tea and stuff with. There's 2 little ones there for water, and there's 2 up in the drivers. Right? This isn't on a day drive. It can be, right? And that's just a simple bit of hose and a bit of cord. Keep away from the cutting edge. Right? First aid box.
Show them your
First aid box is probably older than you.
older than me. Look at this. First aid box.
A poncho.
Poncho, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can have a cup of tea. Right,
Cup of tea. There you go.
cup of tea.
Ready
This
to
one,
go.
This one.
Yep.
Right.
Cool.
I've got a cleaning rag. I put it in there to stop it rattling.
Yeah.
With these vehicles, there's a jack and wheel brace down the side.
Yeah.
Power point. This side, 2 camp chairs,
Yep.
2 brollies. We've got an emergency, one of these pop-up en-suites.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
Yep. That's your toilet.
the portaloo.
Yep.
If needed, we've got it. We've got a portaloo with the bags, or the bucket itself
The
is
bucket,
very
so-
useful.
Yep.
But an awning for the tent,
Yep.
the pegs, just ground sheet.
Mhm.
It's very old canvas. I've had that one. Oh, who knows how long. These are good. They're button control lights, LED light strip.
Okay. Oh, light strip. LED
Yep.
light strip. Yep.
Yep.
This table's older than me.
Well, it's wife's great auntie. The floor to the outhouse.
Yep.
If we have a shower,
Yep. Yep. Prevents it from being muddy.
maybe. Next one,
Another stove.
little stove.
Yeah.
I'll probably use this one more than the other one.
Okay.
One set of heavy duty,
Oh,
Jumper
yeah,
leads?
Jumper leads. Yeah.
and right at the very bottom I have
Grill plate.
a grill plate.
Grill plate. Cast iron.
If I'm out and I need fire, I can put up 2 stones, put a fire over the top, grill plate, what have you.
Yeah.
And it will also dual up for jack base.
Jack base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea.
I need to put it over sand or something like that.
It's a good
Put it
size
down.
too. Yeah.
And that's about it, other than getting down to the tyre, which has puncture repair kit, small compressor, a little bag with pliers and that, and a couple of pieces of timber. I got a Waco fridge. I set it in here. Because of the lay of the seat, I fabricated a piece of what do they call it? Noodles.
Pool noodle.
Cool noodle. There's a centerpiece which is round in between them, and I made one of each on the sides. That just helps
Level it.
keep it level, and also helps keep an airspace underneath. I don't know whether you've spotted from the other side yet. A board. You might see that in the footage from the other side. There's a board goes down between the 2 seats and split it on the 3/4 seats. It's to stop me pushing stuff up against the air vent on the fridge.
Yeah. Yep.
2 leads over the back. One goes onto the battery. The other one goes onto the power board. And if where I can get power, then I supply power back to the battery. I've got the charger, and it charges up the battery overnight. Yes, I did make it to the Cape.
Yeah. So Laurie made it up all the way up to the tip
Yep.
with a couple of other vehicles.
Laurie doing the telegraph. Woohoo! Woohoo! On the X-trail.
Water, 1. As you were saying earlier, Marvin, more the merrier.
Yep.
Water,
Different containers too. Yeah.
Water, 3. When I'm not at Bunnings, or go to Bunnings and I'm not carrying my ladder, and I'm not someplace, I've made this strap.
What is
Well,
that strap?
It is off a child restraint seat.
A child restraint seat, yeah.
Yeah. It goes on the hinge, this piece on the hinge. This one goes on the clip. Do not pull this tight.
You gotta have slack.
Keep a bit of slack. If you pull it tight, because you need a rotational moment to get it to loosen.
Yeah.
You only put it in there once and make that mistake and my God, I managed to get it off. But yes, I did that. But that's very simple. Up and there we are. I don't need the ladder for bunnings. I can pick up and put up here what I need. On the top I carry 2 stretchers for myself and the wife. On the top I also have a bag. In the storage I have them in old suitcases. But there's a roll, a bed roll that fits on these. We got them from IKEA and they're for a day bed at the pool. They're waterproof, you can be in the pool thing. The water just runs straight through them. They dry easier if you want to wash them. Around this side of the car, it's just basically where we put our luggage. We've got 2 bags. I have a little esky sitting here, and we use it for when we're driving, putting maps, map tops, or the little tablets and things. I have these size containers also, but again, they're just boxes that size. I find for this car suitable. We put whatever we want in. It might be laundry, because usually we've got to have somewhere like that. There's always a torch. I've also got another torch over on the other side. What we didn't see, Marvin, was across to here. Before I put the solar panel on the roof, I used to put ground mounted one where the table went from, and that used to be mounted at the back. And when I put the DC charger on, I put it round to the front. It still hooks to the battery. If I've got a solar blanket or something out, or somebody else's other, I can plug it into there. It gives me a secondary power supply as a second. It also shows me the voltage of the batteries running at. I get USB ports and cigarette lighters, and that can run out of it as well. These model cars have got a drop away section. It allows me to get to what falls down behind the seat, but I carry caps. And this is the board that we spoke of. It just sits in between the seats. Right? There's a 1/3, 2/3 fold split seat. It just pokes in there. It stops me putting anything up against the air vents. Yeah. And we put 2 duffel bags in here. Yeah. One for each of us, and that is basically it. Hats, coats, and a blanket. I have a TomTom GPS system, camera for front and back, mainly so the tow bar when I wanted to hook up. 2-way, it's a GME, TX 3100.
Is it a 40 channel or 80 channel?
80 channel.
80 channel.
Yep. Mic.
Yeah.
I also have, I'm not quite sure of the brand, Haynes.
It's a Haynes brake controller.
Haynes electric brake system.
Yeah.
On the caravan. The caravan's I've had it recertified to match this towing vehicle, is 1350 kilograms. And I've had it replated to 1350 to match this. Other than that, down this side I've got remote, an isolator switch for my spotlights. Yeah. Wired purely with the high beam. Handheld 2-way.
Oh, you've got a handheld too, yeah.
Yep.
It's good for backup.
Good for backup. I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
Mainly because I did traffic control, so I wound up having 2 of these. I do the same with the zipper. run the zipper down, then you just lock in behind it like that and keep it from opening up. That's the one on the awning. Open the flaps up over the top. This keeps your windows open but closed at the same time. And the towels hang on here.
Yep. Using that.
On that one there's an extra sail rail. That's the manufacturer one. I've put this one on, and this is where I'll put the tent, and that allows me to put an awning on here.
Yep. Because once you put the awning tent, there's no other way to put another awning.
No, well, on the original, no.
Yeah, because it uses up the rail. Yeah.
So I'll put a secondary rail in.
Yep.